like we've already kind of gotten started a little bit. So, how many of you guys know about the self-publishing with Amazon?
I just heard about it today, but not from here, but someone else. Because actually, someone I knew, I guess the elementary school teacher, Mrs. Castanway. I don't know if anyone knows that person from Strong School.
I don't think so. I was homeschooled.
Okay. Yeah. A friend of mine saw that she self-published. I'm pretty sure it was from Amazon. So.
Yeah, Amazon's like the big hub for like self-publishing because it's simple and it's free. What's nice, it's all free, and so it can fit with the budget basically. It's tricky though. There's some things they don't tell you when you're going in. Like what was it? For instance, I wrote some of these down. Obviously it's free. Sometimes you're gonna have to reformat. You're gonna have to reformat like the margins, sometimes even the spaces in between, because depending on the book they write or like the manuscript that where it's on, whether it's Google Docs, Microsoft Word, sometimes the sentences will bleed into the binder if you don't fix the margins, and they'll let you know when to fix the margins. Because what's nice is that once you upload it and you upload the cover, you'll be given like the chance to get a sneak peek at what it would look like. So like it'll give you like the red lines of like, oh, your cover is kind of bleeding over the edge. Why not try making it a little smaller? And they'll let you know like, oh, sorry, I worked all day, so I'm a little tired.
So bleeding over?
Yeah, so bleeding over. They'll let you know like, if you don't know how to change the margins, click this link right here. We'll show you how to do it based off of Google Docs, Microsoft Word, and it gives you that like step-by-step, which is nice.
Do you have certain margins that you work with? That you know that could fit into it?
For me, I use like I'm trying to remember the exact numbers, like 5x5 and 8x5 for me, because this is about the size of one of my books. It's a sci-fi fantasy book. It's about the size that it comes in. This is like the default for.
Is that yours?
Yes, this is mine.
Oh, very nice.
For fiction, biographies, as long as it's not a picture book.
Book one, huh?
Yeah. We're working on the others. Rough. So it's gonna be about that size. But once
that looks like 5x8?
Yeah, like it's a 5x5, 5x8.
8, okay.
Yeah. And this is what the inside will look like. The words, when you fix the margins, they're not going to be too big, but they're not going to be too small either. They'll be like just enough for the reader to get a little comfortable, but also like small enough to feel like a real book.
Yeah.
Because it is a real book.
Right.
It is going to be a real book.
What's the font?
The font, I use Arial. I believe it, on Google Docs, because I use Google Docs for all my writing, just because it's the only
I just got a new computer, so I'll be doing Google Docs now too.
It's
Word.
It's definitely easier to change the margins on Google Docs, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Definitely. So that's the nice thing about Amazon. What's also nice is that because Amazon opened up self-publishing as an option, other bookstores are starting to open up. Like Barnes & Noble's just maybe like a few years ago opened up self-publishing as an option. You won't get your books on the shelves, but it's in a catalog. And people, if they're looking for your book, they can ask for it, and they'll research it and order it. It'll be all like personally ordered for them.
Did you get the SKU on the back or whatever that's called?
Yeah, the barscan code.
Barcode.
So Amazon offers a free barscan code.
Yeah,
right
see,
there.
I had gotten a barcode for mine already.
Yeah.
So.
Which is good.
Yeah.
You can put your own on there as well. Just Amazon also offers.
I already bought
free.
it, so yeah.
Hey, good for you.
Yeah. Now, when you go on to Amazon, is there a certain thing you go on to, Amazon Publishing or?
Yeah. So you guys, if you're gonna go with Amazon, you go to Amazon.com self-publishing, and you're gonna have to create an account.
Okay.
But it's gonna feel like a little bit of a hassle, but once you get the account, it's worth it. It saves everything that you upload, and you decide when it gets published. There's no deadline. It's not going to be like, oh, if you don't upload it in like 30 days, we're deleting the whole thing.
Okay.
No, you go at your own pace, which is really nice, and you take your time, basically. Amazon also offers marketing. You can pay them to do like to market your book on the Kindle. I recommend definitely, if you do use Amazon, do an ebook first, because most of your readers are going to be more into their screens a little bit, just because it's easier for some of them.
Yeah.
I do know a couple people though, they'll read the ebook, and if they really like it, they'll buy the physical copy just to put on the shelf. So an ebook is very helpful because you'll reach more people.
Okay, so do that first.
Yes.
Okay.
I would recommend, doing
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, I
thought
didn't
you had
know
to
either.
do I thought you had to do everything. Just you send up the manuscript, and then they decided what was made out of it, or automatically an ebook is always made out of it too.
So it's never automatic. It's always up to the publisher. You get 3 options. You can do hardcover, paperback, and the Kindle ebook. It's only going to be on Kindle though, which is nice though because so many people use Kindle that you'll reach such a large audience in like just a short amount of time. And that's where the marketing will come in. You do have to pay money for the marketing, but it's worth it because like you can put it to a span of time, like from March to November, I want my book to be advertised, be the first thing that comes up when people click the app. And Amazon will personally like sparse it out between those months of when it'll come up so that you don't have to worry about like making sure it comes up. The Amazon will do it for you.
Nice. Do you have an idea of the price of that?
It's, I think the least, it has to be at least 100.
100. Okay.
At least 100.
And it can go up from there?
Yeah, it can go up from there. It's whatever you feel comfortable doing and whatever your budget, whatever fits your budget.
Oh, okay.
Which does bring me to one, it's a pro and a con about self-publishing. Yes, you're your own boss. You can make your own deadlines, your own time, but it's also coming out of your own pocket. Even though your self-publishing is free, finding an editor, cover artist, even marketing, it costs money. I didn't realize how much money it was until I did my own research when I was trying to find ways to market because I struggle. That's my Achilles heel with self-publishing. I'm terrible at marketing.
You can go to Canva for free for a cover.
Oh, you can.
So
you
you
go to,
can, yeah.
you go
So you
Canva,
don't have to pay.
Fiverr.
Yeah,
Canva.
Fiverr.
It's
Canva. Canva, and you can. It's for your cover. You can pick a cover there.
But even was it the editing costs alone, if you want to get like a professional editor or even a freelance editor, it costs well over $1,500.
Yeah.
Just for the editor.
Can you
So
go to Fiverr for that?
You can go to Fiverr for it,
Yeah.
which I would recommend just because everyone has different rates. Just be careful who you choose. Look over, see who they've worked with because they should have that in their profile of all the different writers that they've worked with and the reviews that they got from them. As long as they have mainly positive reviews and you can research the book and see that it did do well, then go with them. Because there's some people who will try to steal your manuscript. I haven't had that happen.
So you can do all of that without if you just want to write your book and publish it, you don't need to get an editor
You don't
or
need
anything
to.
like that.
I would advise either getting a professional editor or finding someone you trust.
Because like Tom's group, like Tom, you are in a writer's group. Do you all share your manuscripts with each other?
It's totally voluntary. And I had my manuscript reviewed by I think 3 different people.
From that group?
In that group.
Oh, okay.
And the most important issue there was one of the ladies who really took a liking to my manuscript. She happens to be an English professor at a college, and she edited the whole thing for me.
That's
Wow.
nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I was very fortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a blessing
And
right there.
the cost to me was
That's nice.
Gift certificate. A thank you card.
Because what Dorothy is saying, Tom, is that if you wanted an editor or an illustrator, right, you can go online to a freelance site that people do that from their homes. They'll edit your book. They'll do a cover. They'll do illustrations, but then that adds another
Additional.
layer of your costs. And sometimes those people on a site like that, like Fiverr, they don't always get paid well,
No.
and you don't necessarily know them.
Right.
So it's kind of, now you're throwing out your manuscript to
Right.
somebody, so you know, you just gotta, you
It's-
gotta weigh that
Mm-hmm.
that idea.
Yeah. It's definitely a leap of faith.
It's a leap of faith, exactly.
It's a big leap of
Do
faith.
you
Yeah.
copyright your manuscript first before you hand it
So-
out to an editor?
You could.
You could, yeah. I copyright it after because my editor, I choose people that are close to me in my life that I know aren't going to sugarcoat it for me. They're going to give me the raw, gritty truth.
And you're not going to steal it.
Yeah, they're not going to steal it because I'll know if they steal it.
Mm-hmm.
But they're going to be honest with me, and if I can rely on that, then I know I've found not just an editor but a beta audience, and that's just as important when you're coming up with a book to find a beta audience. Some people will do like on Fiverr, they'll pay random strangers to read their book.
Really?
It's also another good way to get your book stolen,
Yeah.
from what I hear.
Huh.
So
So
that's-
you can get paid to read someone's book and give them feedback on it?
You can, yeah.
Let me write that down.
I know, it's a nice part-time job, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, and you can even.
Would you like to edit?
Yeah, I'd love to edit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. We made a business deal right here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Write that down. To get my glasses.
Yes, I'm gonna have to
updated.
take your name and
Yeah.
number. Your first name, Lynn? Lynn?
Another nice thing about Amazon is if you decide to go with a publisher, you have that liberty. Amazon's not gonna hold your book hostage and be like, oh no, you're only with us. You can take that book and give it to a publisher. If anything, it might be good to give them like that physical copy, like, hey, I made it this far. On Amazon, a lot of people are liking it. I'd like to go with the publisher and work with you guys. And that just shows not only how responsible you are, that you're not just in it for the money, but that like you took the time to basically build up your resume of sorts. You made your own resume and you have the receipts to show it, and now they have to make the decision. Do they hop on board this train? Do they put an investment in you or not? And as we've all heard from a lot of stories from a lot of famous authors, a lot of people, like, they get rejected for 10 years until someone finally picks up that one manuscript. That's why a lot of people are starting to turn to self-publishing, because of that trope of like waiting and not getting anywhere. Because it's faster, and you're your own boss. But the tricky part is a lot of people think with self-publishing that it's not going to be good quality. They think because you did it yourself, it's going to be like a kid drawing stick figures, which is sad, because there are people who have self-published that didn't actually do their homework, that didn't care about what they were writing. They were just like, I'm going to write a story. I don't care about grammatical errors or whatever. And they put it on Amazon for hundreds of people to see. And people look at the cover and they're like, oh, this looks like a good book. And then they read it and they're very disappointed. So that's the big trope with self-publishing, is that people are going to be very skeptical when you say you self-publish. But that's why it's our job to prove them wrong. We prove them wrong by working hard, by showing the receipts, by putting in the hours, the long hours of getting the book edited, getting a really good cover. Sometimes you don't even need a professional artist. You could just find someone on Instagram. I follow a lot of artists on Instagram who like being artists is that's what they want for their job. So by you reaching out to them, you're not only finding someone who loves what they do, you're also promoting someone else's work and getting them up there in the world. So it's almost like a win-win situation. Definitely. Sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second. Another thing is you do have to market your butt off big time. Like, yes, Amazon has that option, but what about the people, those very interesting people? I'm sure we all have one or two people that we know that are very skeptical about Amazon because of conspiracy theories or whatnot. I know a couple people in my life who won't even buy from Amazon because of it. So what do? Utilize social media. TikTok, I know there's rumors that it's going to be banned, but utilize it like your life depends on it. Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Twitter and Facebook are going to be
That's
your
why
best
the YouTube.
friends when marketing yourself, because you're going to find there's lots of writing communities there that are all reaching out and being like, hey, it's Tuesday, you know what that means? Shamelessly promote yourself, so put your link here in in the comments section and see who buys your book. And that's what I've done. I've bought self-published books based off of that comment section that are really good books. But what's nice about the social media aspect is, yes, it gets you out there to more millions of people who will see your book and see that you're working hard on your book, but you're opening yourself up to a community of people who are going through the exact same thing as you. They're working on self-publishing. They're asking for advice when it comes to writing certain topics. And it's a lot of communities, at least, that I've been in, they've created a safe space where, like, it's okay to ask the stupid questions. It's okay to put yourself out there a bit, because everyone has each other's back in this community, and that's something I feel like a lot of authors don't realize first going in, because it feels like such a lonely job. But you're not alone, and that's the nice thing about self-publishing. You're always gonna have other people going through similar journey as you that are always gonna be there to encourage you. That's why I encourage people to reach out to those groups or find other writers, whether they're with a publisher or self-publishing, and talk, like get in contact, ask those questions, because you're never gonna know unless you talk, right?
Mm-hmm.
So definitely don't keep silent. I already covered that. That it's not just Amazon. That you can self-publish. You can do Barnes and Nobles. Another really big one that I hear is like becoming really popular is Indie Spark. I haven't tried it myself, but apparently a lot of people say it's really good to use.
Was it Indie Spark?
Indie Spark. That's another self-publishing platform that you can get in paperback as well. I think it's mainly ebooks, but you can do paperback as well. Definitely utilize every platform you can, because you never know who you're gonna reach. Right, one more thing. So remember when I said you have to format everything by yourself? I mean everything. And I made the mistake of not realizing that I was supposed to format everything with my first book. And it was like a little self-help Bible study book. And I just uploaded it, made sure the cover fit, thought it was great. Until I got the book. And I found out that I was supposed to place the chapter headings by myself. I was supposed to set this up by myself. And what's weird is that with Amazon, you could have the headers like perfectly on the Google Docs. It still screws it up. It's still, for some reason, I don't know why.
You weren't able to proof it first?
I was, but I thought I had proofed enough, because I got to maybe the opening part, and I was like, great. I got to like the first page, and I was like, great, it looks good. And I made the mistake of not flipping through the rest of the book.
Okay. It's just where it landed, yeah.
Yeah. What is also nice about
It kind of looks cute.
it doesn't.
I mean,
it's meant to be cute.
Yeah, I mean, so the header was there, you know.
The header was there. It was just.
But and it still was in the same, like you were still going to read that and then read the page.
Yeah, it was just the header when it came out in print was just in a different position. So always check your manuscripts before you publish.
Yeah, each page.
Right, and what's really nice, and I didn't know this until later on when I was doing more research, was that before you publish, you can order yourself an author's copy. So you can get the physical copy. You just have to pay the printing costs.
Right. And it's print on demand, correct?
Yes, it's print on demand.
Yeah,
exactly.
So they don't print it until somebody buys it.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? They don't just print?
No.
You tell them you want a print run and that you pay
so somebody
for it.
buys it, and then they print
I
it
would
then.
think that they would want their money, like, hey.
But then it's a warehouse that they have to store the
Yeah.
books.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this cuts down on the space.
It does, yeah. So
Yeah.
it was one of my books on Amazon is like $15.99. Because of that, the author copy for me was just like $6.03 just for the printing cost. And that gives me that chance to kind of finger through it, make sure it does look good, make sure it feels good. A lot of self-published authors though, and I've had to do this as well, they'll buy them in bulk, which is what you're supposed to do, because you need to make sure continuity is there. So like, I would recommend buying 4 copies of your book and then flip through them carefully. Make sure all the books have the same chapter alignment. Make sure that it's not bleeding through, because every once in a while there'll be something wrong, and you won't know if it's just that one copy or if it was the whole manuscript.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you're going to be buying loads and loads of your own book.
Did they have good customer service? Like if you did have an issue and you
I
wanted
believe so,
to?
yeah. You can. I believe so, yeah. I haven't run into anything where people
Okay.
had to return the books and
Well, I
stuff.
mean, like, when you say when I get the manuscript and say one of the books was, bled through or something, and stuff. So you want to make a change.
Yeah, you can go back and you can make that change. That's
Okay.
Yeah, that's the nice thing. Like, what was it? The sci-fi fantasy book that I showed you guys. I found out that there was a couple spelling errors actually couple days ago.
Okay. So you went in to change them.
I went in, changed it, re-uploaded the manuscript, and now no one is the wiser.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
That's what you were saying about before when you said you
Yeah.
could change it. I thought,
Yeah.
you have to keep republishing it or whatever, but you just
Yeah.
go in, make the change it,
That's
re-upload it, and then there you go. Okay,
Exactly.
I
Are there
see.
different Amazon publishing houses, or does Amazon just have one?
Just one.
Just one.
Amazon.
Okay.
Which is
so
nice.
whether you're doing a picture book or you're doing
Yeah.
a book like yours,
Mm.
it's the same publishing company.
Right.
Okay.
Explain the bleeding. What are you talking?
The bleeding. So sometimes it wasn't in this book, but sometimes some of the words, if you don't format them right, they'll bleed into the binder. So like the beginning of the sentence will be hidden.
Yeah.
And did you hear that Lynn's gonna edit? She's gonna take on some jobs to edit.
That's why Lynn is a
So-
freelance editor.
That's right.
Yeah,
Everybody.
so she's gonna be an editor. So if you ever need to have anything edited, you could look to
Who
her.
needs social media?
Right.
When you have Sandy.
That's right.
Exactly.
I have Sandy Media.
Yeah,
That's good.
there you go.
Exactly. Obviously the journey's not easy. There's gonna be days where you're gonna have to close the computer or the tablet screen and just take a few days off because
I feel like back in elementary school where we had to make a margin because they didn't have any, so we had to do that and then
Oh, yeah.
start over. I got
well, thankfully you won't have to draw the line. You just gotta like make the
Make
font
sure
a
that
little
they're
smaller.
in within.
Yeah. It'll be a lot easier, I promise.
Do you still send things to traditional publishers at the same time, or is that just?
I haven't yet, just because I haven't found a publisher yet that I feel comfortable with
Mhm.
giving my manuscript to, because
Gotcha.
that's my baby.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure my baby's taken care of.
Yeah, that's very true.
But it's
Very
not
true.
off the table, definitely.
And they
not.
just get a fee, right? I mean, are they marketing
Yeah.
it too, or do you still have to market it?
I think when you're with a publisher, they market it.
Okay.
They market it. So they do it at a small fee, just like Amazon does take a portion
Right.
when you sell it. So you don't get all of the money that you're charging
Right.
for it, but you get a decent amount.
Is it a percentage or is it depend on what kind of book it is or something?
You set up the percentage, actually. You can
Yeah.
decide if it's going to be like 30-70 or 60-40 even. It's all up to you. That's the nice part about
About
Amazon.
90-10.
Yeah, how about 90-10?
90-10, yeah.
I like that.
So what does Amazon do for you if you give them a greater
Yeah.
They print it.
portion
Good question.
of your royalties?
I actually don't know because I haven't given them the chance to take the greater portion just
They've got to
yet.
do something for your money.
That's true, yeah. No, that's something I think I'll have to figure that out. Thank you for pointing that out.
That is a good question.
So like I said, the journey is rough, but just remember a few things. Keep in mind, it's worth it. You're not alone, and don't be afraid to speak up if you need help, whether it's from moral support, whether it's from the writing communities that you're a part of. Don't be afraid to speak up, because that's the worst mistake you can make. Because you'll always be left wondering if you did it right. Whereas when you speak up, you know exactly where to go.
Have you been involved? I think there's a Connecticut Writers Association or something like that.
I have not. I've been meaning to look into associations like that. I just haven't had the time. I work full time, and I also have siblings that I very, very much love and take care of. They're the bigger, greater half of my life. So I try to balance life and work and writing all at the same time. So I haven't looked into that, but I didn't realize that there was one like just for Connecticut. I thought it was like
There
based by
is.
town.
And it's escaping me, but I believe they have a main group, and then there's another one in Southern Connecticut. Writers Association.
I'm gonna write that down actually.
So I thought about going, just to, and I think the membership fee is minimal. I mean, there's an
Do you know
application.
do they do anything for
I
you?
don't know.
Oh, okay.
You know, I have, that's why I was wondering if anybody
Mhm.
had joined. And,
No, no.
And I don't know how large the group is,
Mhm.
whether it's just a social hour or if there's actually work being done, assistance, or, you know,
That's very
what they
interesting.
do,
Yeah,
how they
that's-
network.
That's something new we could all try then. I mean, that's a new challenge
Yeah.
for ourselves. Let's find like a writers association that we can jump into.
Yeah, I would like to network more.
It's good to network yourself. That's a big part of being your own boss. You definitely have to network yourself.
Because I stink at marketing.
Oh, Sam. No, Sam.
And you go with Amazon marketing.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Mhm.
Even, I'm a fine artist as well.
Oh, you are.
So,
Oh,
I stink at
We're getting
marketing.
all these.
Yeah. I
Got
stink at
editing. We
marketing, but I
got
can-
artists.
I can paint tear duct on a wolf, but I can't market my own stuff because I don't
Yeah.
care. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it's like,
Yeah.
I'm not a starving artist.
Right,
so,
right,
you know,
right.
Alright.
so,
Well,
yeah,
we're not
it's-
good in every area
Right.
Oh, no,
either, so that's
exactly.
why we have other people who are good,
Yeah,
like
I'm more the
editing
creative
and
person.
Yeah, I'm as well.
And
I'm
it's like,
creative.
okay,
Yeah, the
somebody do
marketing.
this for me
Yes.
because I'd rather start another painting.
right.
So,
Exactly. We
I
all.
knew what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Right. Does anybody have any like other questions that they have, or even like comments about their journey as writers?
Oh, I can let's back up. Well, where do you start?
Definitely start.
Once you have all your material to the best of your knowledge, your ability, what do you go do first?
Uh,
What do you do with the stories?
What I do? A little bit of
well, once
YouTube.
once you feel
an
comfortable
idea.
with your
Yes,
manuscript
I will give
and you've
this
had
to
someone
Okay.
look it over,
Absolutely. Yep.
definitely get an account with Amazon Kindle Publishing. I recommend them first, just because it's very simple, it's easy.
What's it called?
Amazon.
Amazon.com/self-publishing.
Yeah, or even
Yeah.
Kindle Publishing.
Oh, Kindle publishing.
I would try Kindle Publishing
Kindle,
actually.
okay.
And then once you set up your account, they've got a whole step-by-step thing for you.
Nice.
Which is nice. And then like if you don't understand one of the things they're asking of you, they have a whole little blurb like that you can click on. They'll explain to you
Nice.
what's its purpose and if it's optional or not.
I find Amazon very easy.
Oh yeah.
they're big. That's what their big selling thing is. It's so easy.
Right.
Easy to buy, easy to search,
Yeah,
easy to return.
Exactly.
It's just so easy.
Right.
So I can imagine that would be.
Definitely, yeah, that's what I recommend. Definitely start with Amazon and then work your way through. I know I'm trying to figure out the Barnes and Nobles aspect. It's giving me a run for my money, but we're working on it. I just gotta keep reminding myself it's worth it.
Yeah.
So once you set up an account, then what?
Then you'll be taken to a page where it says create your file, and then it'll all be like a step-by-step thing from there.
And it's saved. It's this.
If you want, I can give you my number so I can walk you through it when you sign up. Or would you like that? Yeah. All right. I'll do that. You just gotta let me know it's you, because if it's a random number, I don't look at it unless you say it's you.
Yeah, I'd also like your number, Dorothy.
Okay. Any other questions you guys might have?
How do you personally balance work and life with writing? I think that's something we all want to know. Like, are you a morning writer, night writer?
I'm an all-over
All
writer.
over writer.
Sometimes you can ask my family, who is hiding all the way back there. They'll come out from their bedroom. They'll see me at 3 a.m. on my computer, and they'll be like, "What the heck are you doing?" Go to sleep.
That's a thing for a writer. I'll tell you. You can have an idea in the middle of the night, and you have to get up at that
Yes.
moment and write it.
I
So-
don't think people understand. It's kind of, it's almost like a poltergeist that gets into your brain,
Yeah.
and
I
you
like
could be in the
that.
shower, and all of a sudden a scene will start going through.
Yes.
Like a download or
And-
something, yeah.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
you feel like there's something wrong with you because that's not.
Oh, I don't. I
well,
just know it's just got to get out.
I've been in my career, I worked for Aetna, and I would be in $1 million negotiating
Oh,
meetings, and a painting would be in my
Oh,
head.
no.
And it'd be like a kaleidoscope, click, 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 click,
you're
click,
wondering
and
how
you're doing
and, And, yeah, it was very
Babble.
distracting.
Yes.
When it
Wow.
possessed you.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know. To get up in the middle of the night,
Yeah.
to have to get up and write, but I have to.
Right,
I
and
have to
it
put
doesn't
it
feel
down.
like a burden, right?
No, it
feels
doesn't.
like-
It feels
it doesn't.
urgent. It feels
Yes.
like I got to do this, or else. Because if I've done that, I've gone back to sleep, and then the next
you
day, and
lose
it's like,
it.
oh, what was that? And that's more frustrating to
It
me than
is.
getting up in the middle of the night and
Pad
actually.
next to the bed.
Well, I
Yes.
have that, but I do the. I have to put it on the computer, and I don't have the computer by my bed. I do have a pad. I have a book, like a journal. I have a pad,
Yep.
like an open pad, and I have
Yeah.
pens. Does that drawer even get open? No, because I have to go into my office and I have to pull up the computer. That's what feels. I feel like I can go faster.
Right, no, I hear
Yeah.
you. The computer is definitely much faster than
Yeah.
physically writing, but whatever you gotta do to get it down,
Yeah.
just don't let it leave.
Right. Right.
So do you think your ideas come from you, or do they come from somewhere
I
else?
feel like sometimes it's a download for me. It's like a download. It's I don't know where it just comes to me, and it feels important. It feels. I know I use the word urgent, but it feels more important than urgent.
Yeah,
It feels
vital.
vital. Yeah, very. Yeah.
That's a good word.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels vital, and it feels that I need to get it down, and and it doesn't matter that it's 3 a.m. or what. It doesn't matter, and once it's down, and then I can just go back to sleep in peace, and then I don't have that feeling in the morning like, what was that? Because I know if I don't take it, it will go to somebody else.
Yes.
You know, another like my husband gets ideas for books all the time.
Really?
Yes, and they're so good. And he's already written 2. And so, and then he'll get this idea and he'll tell me about it as we're driving, for 45 minutes. And I'm so intrigued and so interested, and then he does nothing with it. And then I'll hear somebody else wrote a book and it's about that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, see,
They
you
took
put it out to the universe. The universe was trying to give it to you, and you just
Squandered it.
Yeah, and he just was like, it was good enough for him to just tell me about it. That was his happiness,
Yeah.
with it.
Aw.
Like it wasn't about putting it in a book. But it was
just
just
about sharing. with
yeah,
you.
I think it was
that's
something
awesome,
like that.
though.
But I'm like, oh, you should put this in a book because it's all fiction.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't write. I don't write that, so I can't take it from him and say I'll do that or.
You should work on one together.
Oh.
Well, I don't know if I could do fiction. I don't know. My
Let
son
him do
really
the hard
wants.
parts.
I used to write a lot of stories when my kids were little, and they used to say to me all the time, "Mom, you gotta write books. You gotta write books." And to this day, my son will still tell me, and I'll hand him like something I wrote. Ma, you gotta write fiction, and I was like, I can't. It just.
It's tricky.
Yeah,
sometimes, depending-
fiction is tricky
Yeah,
Why? Why do you?
because I feel like I don't know it. Like
I feel like I can't make
nonfiction or
dialogue sound
memories, I
real.
know it's me. I lived it.
But if you were to write a fictional story about a family
And I've
or
done
whatever,
so many.
but
Because
how do you know
when
you
my
wouldn't be successful?
I don't know when my kids would they had I forgot what it was called, but it was a reading thing, and the parents had to volunteer once a month to go in and read. Well, I used to write the story that I was going to read, and I would use all the kids in the class
Okay.
in the story.
That's so cool.
So, but I knew the kids in the class, like, you know,
But
like,
write what you know.
yeah,
Start off with that.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a
true.
short
I
story.
could do
You can
that.
take one of yours, if you're a memoirist, then you can take one of your stories and then just
Make it a.
make it into
Yeah.
a fictional and add
Change
it.
the name, it's not really fiction.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
saw that too.
I've actually thought about submitting to Reader's Digest.
Oh.
They
I got published in a magazine.
Oh, you
well,
did?
it's
Yeah.
the same
That's
concept.
good, yeah.
Sometimes small. Start off small.
Yeah.
Yes.
Start off with an article in Reader's
Yeah.
Digest, and if they publish, I think there's monetary,
Mhm.
$400,
Yeah.
$500.
It was.
doesn't
I
matter.
got. I think I got $350, and I got one copy of the magazine, and I asked for 4. And they sent me one.
What
But
magazine was
it was Active Living,
Okay.
and it was many years ago, and it was about how to create support groups, the importance of support groups, and then how to create one.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Another good magazine which you told me about, which specializes with self-publishing and indie publishing, is the Kirkus Review.
What is it?
Kirkus Review. So it's KUS?
KUS. So I can tell you from a library aspect, when people self-publish books, a lot of people will bring them into the library and say, hey, can you just throw this on your shelf? But from a library aspect, we can't do that, because if I'm ordering books, I have to have a review that I can fall back on if someone comes in and wants to challenge that book. So if someone says, I don't like this book, I want this taken out of the library, I have to say, really? Well then, this review just said what a wonderful book it is for this age and that age. So typically, self-published books are not reviewed in a review source. So we use different review sources, Publishers Weekly, School Library Journal, Kirkus is probably the one that we use the most. So in order for us to order it, it has to be reviewed in a professional journal. But like I was telling Dorothy, a lot of those professional journals are allowing independent authors to submit their works, and then they will have a reviewer look at it, and sometimes they make it into a magazine, into a journal, and sometimes not. And if it makes it in and it gets a good review, you're going to get into libraries.
Nice.
And what's nice about the Kirkus review is that they're very brutally honest. They'll tell
They are brutal. Kirkus is brutally honest.
But what's nice is that you get to see the article first, and then you decide. Yeah, you do.
You do? I
And
didn't
you
know that.
and you decide whether or not they continue to publish it. It does cost
I
you
didn't know that.
cost you a pretty penny, but it's worth
But
it because it's professionals looking over your work, and if it works out, you get it out there to, like Lynn said, to all these libraries.
All the libraries everywhere use Kirkus.
Yeah.
So
My
if it's a
husband got
good
his
review
book
in
into Westfield Library in Massachusetts.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, because we did a lot of programs there,
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
him and I. So they put it on the shelf.
Well, we have here in Southington, we have something called the local authors shelf. So if you live in town and you do self-publish,
Oh, okay.
we will put it on our shelf,
Oh,
and
okay.
that shelf is right on our new book list.
Oh,
our
okay.
new bookshelf. So
Right.
people who are looking at our new books go right past
Oh,
the
okay.
local author.
Is that got to be at a certain time of the year, or
Nope.
Oh, at any time I can come in
Anytime.
and say I published this?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. As long as you live in Southington.
Yeah. What
um,
about Plantsville? I mean, that's
That's
Southington.
fine.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. And then it goes on our local author shelf. Like
Okay.
I said, is right on our new bookshelf. So everybody sees it.
It's definitely comforting going over to the local
Yeah.
local author shelf, because you see, again, you're not alone. You got all these other people who
Oh,
did
yeah.
it, they made it, and you can make it too, basically, is what those books are saying when you see them on the
Exactly.
shelves.
Nice.
Oh, I have a question. So that book you published, the sci-fi or fantasy one,
Yeah.
is actually a series, and it's only the first book, right?
It's only
Correct?
the first book.
And you went publishing it before finishing the other ones.
Yes, I went with publishing before. I like to call them blueprints of what I want to happen by the end of the series. They're not detailed. They're just like, okay, this, and this is what I want. How do I get there? And we just work our way through that. And I like doing that because I'll find sometimes like, oh wait, I could add this book to the series because it'll give deeper context. I didn't even think to add that there. And it definitely helps because I like having a plan going in, just blueprinting it, but I don't like writing all the series and then publishing it because I feel like for me it takes too long and I'm not always patient.
I'm
No.
definitely a take a long time person. I don't plan. I have one book done. I know it's a series. I know it's not, So I printed it for myself, like at Staples, just to be like.
right on.
So I stopped touching it, like just write more because I keep nitpicking, So I did that as a way to kind of like stop looking at this one and keep moving on. So I just was curious that you decided to publish before. Because I'm thinking like, oh, I can't do anything, really like publishing before I'm done with everything, right? Do I
Oh, yeah.
even
No,
just start?
I'm a bit of a like, let's see what happens. What I would recommend, because you're talking about like how you constantly have to keep editing it. I'm the same way. Give yourself a limit. I limit myself to 5 drafts at most before giving it to someone I trust to look it over.
That's a good idea.
Because that kind
To
of
give yourself
force you to stop, and then you hand it to a new set of eyes that has never
Yes.
seen the story before, doesn't know what they're getting into.
That's a
and
good
they'll,
idea.
They'll catch
I'm going to take that
everything.
idea.
Go ahead, go for it.
Yes.
That's why I said it.
Yeah.
They'll catch everything you missed after reading it over and over again. Your brain gets dull, and you feel like you just want to throw the book down.
I just looked up, it's Connecticut Authors and Publishers Association.
Okay.
And the Connecticut Authors and Publishers Association assists, encourages, and inspires published and unpublished writers and increases their knowledge of writing, publishing, marketing by providing a forum for the exchange of ideas and information.
I like that.
Where are they?
I'm looking for that.
Plainville Library used to
Right there,
have
Avon?
something with authors. Avon?
Ava?
Yeah, it says there's a post office box, post office box 715 Avon. It's to get in touch, become a member if you have an interest in writing, editing, illustrating, publishing, or any aspect of the industry. Become a member of the Connecticut Authors and Publishers Association.
And where's the one that you go to? Berlin, you said? Or Canton? Canton. That's the one you have? Is that in the library too, or? Yeah, Canton Library.
You can't not have it in a library.
Webinars, bi-weekly on Thursdays, authors newsletters.
Bi-weekly.
Present your book at events such as the first annual book festival. We have picnics,
Oh, picnic.
Who doesn't like a picnic?
Who doesn't like a picnic?
and then there's a membership application. And it looks like it's Kappa P.O. Box 715 Avon.
Interesting.
I'm gonna look into that when I get home
Yeah,
tonight.
and it's $48 for individual membership.
Oh, that's not bad.
And if you do a family, $60. So
A family?
So, let's be a family.
Family of writers.
Oh, the whole family's a writer. Well, Patrick and I would be family writers.
So that's what I thought of doing.
Yeah.
Do you have anyone have any more questions?
Oh yeah, more questions?
Now from a library standpoint, I was also going to ask if this is something, you know, like Tom goes, you have a regular writers group that meets at the Canton Library, you said? So if that's something that you're interested in starting a writers group here, then you can let me know. I can give everyone my cards, and if it's something that you would like,
Yes, yeah.
you can
Local,
email me,
yeah.
and then but just let me know what days and times are good for you. So hopefully we do it at a time that's good for everybody.
Sure.
And then okay, so let me do that now. And then
Yeah, that would be a good idea, because then we could kind of throw out ideas to everybody, or read a paragraph or something of a book and get feedback.
Yeah.
That might be nice.
Total nonsense, or is this worth it?
Yeah. I mean, you've already
Just
written a
your
book,
bacon
I've already
nuggets.
written a book, he's already written a book.
Yeah, I've written a couple.
Written a book.
Depends. I never think of it as done, but yeah.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
I have one done and one almost,
that's like
but they
been
just
years.
sit there, you know, it's
Yeah.
like,
right.
I mean,
sit
I
for
feel
years.
great after I'm done, but then it's like,
So I'm not published yet. So
No,
I'm still
yeah,
writing,
you-
still editing. Still in the process
so
of
you've
editing.
written and now you're editing. And
And
Lynn will edit now. She's
yeah,
taking this on
I
as
think you've become my new best beta.
Yes, yes. We all
Um,
have her card now.
Yeah.
She can add edit to library, next to her
Yes.
librarian.
Well, to add to the complication, I'm
She's
writing
getting a
it with
little
my,
side job.
I'm writing it with my sister-in-law.
Oh.
So try having two
Oh.
co-authors. There is such a good thing about it, and it's such a
Yeah, with everything, right?
Hey, we
Oh,
tried
yeah.
that. Our friendship almost ended. No, I'm just.
Wow.
I kicked her out of my book, and I was like, "No, I'm gonna write the whole book myself." Never mind.
Depending on your experiences, your background,
And
how
so
you
it's
grow
fiction,
up.
huh? A fiction.
Yeah,
Wow,
and-
so that's
and
two imaginations.
So, yeah.
Going.
So, and the problem is both of us worked in an industry where precision is required.
Yeah.
We were both technical writers for different insurance
I just got an
companies
idea.
and project managers.
Mhm.
So we started off so structured, there was no flow, it looked like a robot. And then I said, no, Shirley, this isn't working. I said, I said, let me fool around with it, you know, put my artist hat on.
Yeah.
And then just started going. It changed the entire complexion of the book and
Nice.
told us how inexperienced, we thought we knew it all. We wrote for our, major companies. So, but technical writing
Yeah.
about bits and bytes and all that other stuff is much different than invoking an emotion and getting a scene and all that stuff. But being an artist helps.
Yeah, or creative, yeah. And some kind of creative. Yeah. You okay?
Yeah. Scratchy throat.
pollen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I find that now that we're getting closer, I'm more intimidated by pushing, the publish button than I am going to juried art shows and putting your
Wow.
art on display.
Yeah.
Art is subjective.
Are you gonna go the Amazon self-publish?
We're deciding.
Yeah.
There is also Reader's Digest also has a forum where they'll publish. It's a hybrid
Okay.
between self-publishing and
Family member to the rescue.
maybe a little bit.
That's my editor.
Family member hiding in the corner.
So we were just kind of looking at everything.
Okay.
But when I came across Reader's Digest, like I said, they offer the hybrid thing of they'll promote, they'll find the editor, they'll edit, they'll do all this stuff, but you don't give your rights away.
Oh, okay.
So, which is a big thing for us, because I
Right.
don't wanna hand it over to a publisher and then they change everything, which
Yeah.
contaminates the original intent of
Right.
the story.
Yeah.
So, but then again, I keep telling my sister-in-law, well, if they write me a check for, a few zeros behind something, I don't care what they do.
Yeah, right.
And
Yeah.
so, but she's not feeling that way. So
Yeah.
again, I have to negotiate.
Yeah.
So, there's
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah, when I got put
opportunities.
in the magazine, they did change one thing,
Yeah,
or like one small little paragraph, and I was like, oh,
they can do that.
yeah, yeah.
That's scary.
But I mean, the point of it was like the point of support groups and how to get them started was still all intact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By them changing that one little thing, it didn't change the purpose of what I was writing about. So I just let it go. Cashed the check and still have the magazine to this day.
Nice.
For free.
Yeah,
How much
It's
did you make?
$3.50. Yeah, yeah, for one article. So I've dabbled a little here and there. So, but I'd like to really get out there.
And there's also the books, The Writer's Market. Have you ever seen that? That will give you all the different contests and.
And that was the other avenue I thought of, and we might do this as well, is I have heard or read that once, if you were to enter your manuscript into a writer's competition, like Writer's Digest or whatever, that's where publishers start looking, and, and major editors start looking, and so that can also push your work out in the forefront.
Yeah.
So,
I know a lot of people who are starting YouTube channels,
Yeah.
and then it's about like almost like about their book or whatever, and then they
Yeah.
say they're talking, and then they say, and I have a book and stuff. So, and people keep saying every time I comment on somebody, they say, why don't you start a channel? We need
like a
somebody
blog.
like you to start
But
a
you can
channel.
make multiple videos, just like kind of advertise. Like, what's
Well-
the channel gonna do?
Well,
like a blog?
but see, mine is a memoir, so it's about my experiences. So I guess my YouTube channel would be about my experiences, or
Like a video
or like
memoir.
how-tos, and then have a book to go,
Yeah.
Right.
like some maybe how to get through a divorce or something that has happened to me.
That's true.
Invest in a good lawyer. Actually, I didn't even use a lawyer.
No.
No,
Really?
no, he didn't get a lawyer. I didn't get a lawyer. I went down to the courthouse. I asked for the
Cool.
papers. Yep, hired the sheriff myself. He served them.
Not
Yeah.
not very messy.
No. Well, I kind of blindsided him, and I was ready to go, and I did. I just left. I just said, I'm out of here. So, and there was nothing to contest, or I left him with everything. I gave him everything. I said, see ya. I gotta go.
Okay, so I don't know if you know about it. There's books like this.
Writer's Market.
Writer's
Yes.
Market. They'll tell
Yeah,
you all
yeah,
about
the
the
Writer's
different-
Market.
Digest.
No,
Because they
no,
publish
they're the
one as
Writer's
well.
Digest.
Writer's Market.
Digest.com on the
Writer's
bottom.
Digest.
Like
Absolutely
2023
correct.
or whatever.
But they'll tell you all about the different publishers, what
Right,
kind
so
of
that might be something
what
you'd
kind
be
of books
interested
they,
in.
they accept,
Since
what
you're
kind they
looking at
don't,
all
all of
different
their
areas.
contact information,
Okay.
magazines, and then the back is all different contests and awards and when the due dates are and what
Help you in some way.
Thank you. So this is a great
Okay.
a book.
Resource.
Yep.
A good resource.
The magazine Writer's Digest, you can subscribe to, it's pretty cheap.
Yes.
They have the same thing.
Same
on a monthly
idea.
Yes.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
And they also kind of give you tips and emerging writers and what their pitfalls were,
Yep.
what they overcame, what their
Yeah.
successes were, and who mentored them. So just tidbits of information.
Now I'm also intrigued that Amazon. So I didn't know that it was as simple, and I wonder if Amazon has like a self-publishing for music because I compose as well.
You,
Now
yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
can
look that up
upload-
because
you can upload scripts. I think you can upload, yeah.
you think in the
songs.
same
I think you
program
can.
even.
Oh yeah.
Oh, interesting. Oh.
What's really nice is that if in the event, especially when you put it through the ebook, it only works this way. But if you upload it as an ebook, Amazon will pick up any spelling errors. If you missed anything before you send it out, they'll be like, hold on, here's a list of some of the sentences that have some misspellings or don't really make sense. Why don't you take a look at them before you upload it? So it gives you kind of like that final
Oh.
warning kind of thing.
Yeah, that's good.
Mm.
That's good.
Do you suggest Grammarly or not? Have you as
I do, but to your own discernment.
okay?
Sometimes it's fritzy. It helps when you're tired, but you want to work on your book and you just want to catch all those misspellings. I try to heavily rely on my editor because
Yeah.
they read. The condition for all my editors is you gotta love
Take note,
reading.
editor.
You gotta love reading. I mean, Grammarly could give you like, besides that, Grammarly does give you like the tips. I don't know how many people here have used Grammarly. It does give you like like a little like lesson like of why you should change it like this. And it does help because it gives you a whole nother perspective. It gives you like suggestions of like, oh, you kind of sound passive in this section.
What do you mean?
Do you
Maybe
want
I
it
mean
to
to be passive.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
No, exactly. That was my thoughts exactly when I first saw that. But I say use it to your own discernment because some things that they'll ask you to do, it almost makes it sound informal. Some of the stuff. I mean, you do have the option to set it under story mode, so like it gauges that you're writing a story or even a report. But definitely use to your own discernment. Don't fully trust it, but trust it when you need it. It's just a tool. It doesn't own your book. Remember that.
Tom, are you going to publish?
Am I going to?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, most definitely.
Oh, okay. When?
Sooner rather than later.
Okay. Let's go. You had it edited.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I'll be looking for it.
yeah.
I just want to get it in the hands of the publisher. Let it ride.
Yeah. Well, you could do an ebook in the meanwhile.
Well, that's sort of true. I mean,
Yeah.
you go with Amazon.
Yeah.
You know, ebook is automatic. The advantage of it that I've been told is that the readers that read the ebook, they make a review comment.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
and that is
So you get all your friends. You get your friends, your
Yeah.
family.
That's right.
Say, come on,
hopefully you
guys.
get positive
Yeah.
reviews.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that drives your sales.
Yeah.
because
Right.
And
that's
the people in your group have them all
Yep.
put in.
Yeah.
This
exactly.
is a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
This is awesome.
Someone's got to say it in order to get people to notice
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm the holdup.
Well, let us know the next meeting
Exactly.
that it's done. You let me know when it's done, and we'll all review.
Mm.
Is yours done yet? No, you just
A lot of work.
a lot of work still.
It's a work in progress.
Okay.
What I saw interesting too is, I saw this several times. My husband and I went to Vermont and we stopped at the Brattleboro rest place. It's exit 1. And it's a huge complex. It's got all kinds of stuff in there. And there was a basket and there was just free books from this author that said, read it, pass it along,
Yeah.
That's
bring it back,
Hmm.
send it out.
Yeah.
drop it off at the library, whatever.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, cagey person,
Hmm.
free
Yeah.
advertising,
Yeah.
that's
Pretty
gonna,
sneaky,
like,
yeah.
fingers.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Put them in all the little Frida libraries
Yeah.
that you
Yeah,
see.
yes.
Yep.
Well, how is that benefit if they're, you get it for free?
Well, because
If you wrote
it
multiple.
might inspire reading groups, book clubs, that kind of thing, where, oh, I just picked this up, I loved it, you know,
Yeah.
I'll get my,
Right.
and then everybody else has gotta buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
one free
Is-
thing
I-
could be 20.
Is there a reason why you did your initials on your book as the author?
I just felt more comfortable with
Okay.
keeping my initials. Plus, it kind of made it a little more like
Mysterious.
mysterious. Of like, is it a girl or a guy? Who?
Who is this?
Yeah, that way they won't read it based off of my gender. So.
Oh, okay.
Because I've heard
Okay.
of that being like a serious issue in the past, so I kind of wanted to be like, well,
What is
let's
it? Serious issue?
of people not reading certain books because a certain gender wrote it. So I kind of want to like. Push
I asked
that
why
out
she had
wide.
used her initials as an author.
Plus, it's just easier when you're signing forms.
Or autographing books.
Or
right?
autographing
Yeah, or
books.
autographing books.
Exactly, you gotta make it small and neat.
Yeah.
Right. I always think of that of just I don't want any preconceptions when they read about characters because I'm writing about both genders.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh well, a girl wrote this guy
Mhm.
character, so I can't trust it. You know, just don't think
Wow,
about
you
it.
guys
Don't think about
overthink
me.
this.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
read the
I've never
book.
thought like
We
this.
used to do
Yes,
that.
of
Yeah.
course.
I'm a perfectionist too, but
In
well, I
the-
guess because it's a memoir, so.
Yeah.
But then I don't
Yeah.
have a middle name, so I can't have two letters. So I'm like, do I make up a fake letter?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I've had all these
absolutely.
things too.
Or just your first initial
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
and
one
last name.
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
one
yeah.
letter
Yeah,
and a
yeah.
name that looks not as good as having a middle.
Yeah, and I was thinking Sandra or Sandy because is Sandra sound more professional like than Sandy? I don't know.
Or it's more friendly, makes you want
Yeah,
to buy the book.
exactly.
Yeah.
you know,
Sandy?
Like, oh,
Yeah,
we're
Sandy,
you know
yeah.
on
Sandy, yeah.
More like a pal.
casual terms.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a pal, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is
There's
Sandy.
so much
this
to
is
think
Sandy. Oh, the things we think about, huh?
Oh, shit. We're writers, we overthink.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
overthink
for
everything.
sure.
So no one else has like also made like movie trailers already for the book? I've done that.
Oh, so we got
Working on
music.
I got the music. I put
Music,
casting.
we got
You
the
know,
arts.
I made a fake trailer saying it. Coming summer 2025. But that was already like years ago. I'm like, that's already coming out. I'm like, oh shit, I got published it. The book
I'm
already.
gonna get on it.
Yeah.
I already got the movie.
Yeah, I already
Yeah,
got the
yeah,
movie
yeah.
going.
Yeah.
I mean, it never hurts to make a book trailer. I try to find like ones that aren't fan made, so I can see what was the author's thought process in this.
Wow.
All right.
Well,
Any
this was
other
great.
question?
This was
good?
great. I enjoyed it
Thank
very
you very
much.
much.
Yes, thank you
Perfect.
very much.
I'm
Thank you
so-
for your time.
I'm so happy to meet all of you guys.
Yeah.
How could somebody that young be that smart?
I know.
The trick is that I'm still learning.
Yeah,
I've
we're all
I'm
learning.
not stopping.
Doesn't matter the age, we're
Not
still
to
learning.
Talk to us, but you know, as you learn more, right?
Yeah.
Me-
When you
Yeah.
get,
And
she
we're
gets
still
famous in a
learning.
couple of years. She's not gonna be sitting here with us.
Assume that.
She'll have a high
You
chair.
should be
Yeah.
sitting silent.
The chair gets taller and taller each time we come in here. What's going on?
It's not biology.
Yeah, yeah, all her books. Yeah, right.
Oh gosh.
We could ghostwrite for you when you really become famous.
Yeah.
Like Addison.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh my God, how many
Patterson,
books
yeah.
is
He
he on?
ghostwrites all of them.
Oh
Yeah.
my
I mean,
God.
he has ghostwriters.
Like how many though?
But
I know.
just putting his name on it, he
Yeah,
gets
just
the
sends it.
royalty, and then
Yep.
he gets the name, but then
He
he
pays
kind
the
of
writers.
pushes your, he pushes
Yep.
Who's
you
this
out.
James
James
Patterson.
Patterson's on every freaking book.
Yeah.
I can't believe
I-
how many books he's on.
Oh my
I
gosh.
think they all
yeah.
do it. Daniel Steele.
They all do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I've
I
only
think
seen
She,
him, but.
she calls it researchers.
No.
Might
Mm-hmm. Yeah, researchers.
Yeah. Any way to make a buck. Any
Yeah.
way to make a
Yeah.
buck.
Well, when you sell 242.
Yeah, I'm not saying that he didn't earn it, but.
You have 242
Yeah, not saying he didn't earn
printed
it.
copies,
Yeah.
and if you get $1 million for each one, it's $242 million.
Yeah.
I could be happy with that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now they put it like that. It sounds like a good deal.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Dorothy, thank
All right,
you.
well, thank
for
you so
coming.
much.
Thank you all for coming.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Hopefully we'll see everybody again soon.
Yes, I hope so.